Yo, is this thing on?
It is rolling. We are rolling.
What's up, man?
Just trying to recover from a crazy game last night after seeing the Savannah Bananas. Got home way too late. Of course, I think you know that all too well as well. Stayed up
Do
way too
they play like a full 9 innings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And depending on who wins the innings determines, like, they do like a little, like a show. Each team would do like a little thing at the end of each inning. If they won, they went out and they did something like that. They were playing the firefighters and they won an inning and they brought out like a door and a sledgehammer and they like came and knocked down the door with a sledgehammer.
That's awesome.
The Savannah Bananas, after one inning, they did like a recreation of the Pixar opening, where like one of them went out and like stomped on this like thing as if it was the lamp from Pixar. It was funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good game.
I have not been to a sports game in a while, like years.
Wasn't the last thing you did was like a soccer game? Wasn't it?
Was that the last thing I did? It may have been, which if that's... no, I went to a Tech game, Georgia Tech game last year.
Oh, okay, cool.
Actually,
Yeah.
I just remember that, so.
That's one thing I really want to go to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and catch a soccer game there.
That stadium is sick. I'm planning on going to a bunch of Falcons games this year, which I don't know why, but it's something I want to do. Because maybe I just want to put myself through a little more misery than
it's something you
life
want to
already
do.
has in store.
You're not being dragged to it. It's something you want to do.
No, I actually want to do it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I really like the stadium. It's really cool, and on top of that, the food's super cheap, so you can go and have a good time. And
That's
not
nice.
break the bank.
It's one thing that sucks about the Nats Stadium here in DC is that the food is not cheap, and it's really not even that good, to be honest. They really need to up their game as far as food, but it is surrounded by a lot of really good food places. So
The ticket prices aren't even that bad, and I this is kind of funny, but I was looking at like it's like one of the first games of this season, and I don't know if it's because it's against Jacksonville and like that determines the price of the tickets, but I saw some tickets for $3.
oh my god. Jeez.
Yeah, so maybe they're just like, please come watch us play.
Those have to be like the nosebleed seats, though, I'm sure.
Dude, they weren't.
Really?
They weren't.
My
No,
god.
they were like, if you're looking at it like a 3-tiered stadium, they're like the middle tier.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
insane.
And there were other seats that were way better, and they were only like $20 to $30.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's not. It's not. But then I looked at a different date, and they were like $300 tickets. So I don't know why, but that date it just has really cheap tickets.
Do you know how much the Savannah Banana tickets were going for?
I'm sure it's expensive because it's.
I paid
Right.
an extremely discounted price, like really. If you got them early on, you could get them, I think, as cheap as like $80-$90 on the cheapest. But as soon as like 2 months ago, I looked, it was like $300-$400 a seat.
Okay. Wow. That's insane. Is it like a high school size stadium or is it like a legit?
It's a legit size
Baseball
stadium.
stadium.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is where the DC Nationals play. This is where
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a major league stadium.
Okay.
They have sold out every game that they have this season. They have already sold out every single game that they have. So,
That's crazy.
yeah. But enough about sports.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would love to segue into like some sports anime talk, but we don't have any major updates.
Now, I saw another golf anime on Netflix.
I did too. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
One day, dude, when I have more time, I'm watching that shit.
Right now we're in the action animes. We are definitely going to be talking about those today. The only major piece of news that I have to pass on was we did get a trailer release for Solo Leveling 2.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Solo Leveling Season 2. We got a trailer release, so if you get a chance,
Like a little teaser.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it.
Okay. How long is it?
It's like 2 minutes. It's pretty
Okay.
short.
Okay. Too long to watch right now.
Yeah. But there's it does seem to show that there might be there's like a humanoid figure that looks like he's coming from the other side of the gate. We get to see our boy Sung Jin Woo call his like undead army to fight these monsters. So
it feels this is pretty fast for us to be getting a teaser, right? I mean, the first season just ended like what, 4 months ago?
Well, they did say they're expecting to try and do season 2, I think in October or late this year.
This is that type of shit I appreciate. Why do these other production companies take so long, man? This is nice.
Yeah. Well, another cool thing too, and this will be much further down the line because we haven't finished Solo Leveling, but apparently the sequel to Solo Leveling is getting a webtoons adaptation. It's called Solo Leveling Ragnarok, and it's supposed to be following Sung Jin Woo's son.
Oh, there's like a spinoff?
There's like
Solo
it's a spin-off sequel. Like it's after Sung Jin Woo. It's like his child continuing the story afterwards. Apparently, yeah. I read an article about it this morning. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
And if it takes off and the anime does well, that means we'll probably get a sequel somewhere down the line for it.
Yeah.
So
do we know how many seasons of Solo Leveling we're getting?
I think they've said they've already, there's rumors. I don't know if it's confirmed, but I think they're doing 6.
Okay, that's cool. That's respectable.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be too short. 6 is fine.
Yeah, 6 is fair. To be honest, I think a lot of animes, when they go past 6, that's when it starts to feel like it's kind of getting dragged on sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking at Crunchyroll's YouTube because I looked up this trailer. Mm-hmm. That was 8 days ago. 7 days ago, there's a Fire Force Season 3 trailer, which I'm not caught up, but...
I have not seen that. That is good news, too. I definitely need to watch that.
Yeah, 7 days ago.
It
looks legit.
Do we have a release date for Fire Force Season 3 yet?
Coming to Crunchyroll 2025? I mean, it's this year.
April
Oh, wait,
2025.
Sorry. It's not.
We're not.
It's next year. It's within a year.
You're right.
Holy.
The math is not mathing on that one.
Wow. God. Okay. Just forget I said that.
That's
crazy.
Still cool. Well, you got plenty of time to catch up then.
I do.
Yeah, and that's a good one, I would definitely say. The only qualm I have with Fire Force, even though I think it's a great anime, I do think it is really good. I do think they do a little bit too much fan service than what it needs. Like they just that's the only thing that they go a little over the top with, but some of the best animes still do that. So
what I've seen of Fire Force, and it's probably like less than 10 episodes, the sound design is insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The explosions from the fires it's like orgasmic listening to it.
Yeah, it's like deep bass.
It's like the deepest 808 you've ever heard. Like
yeah.
Well, that was a good piece of news I didn't even know about. Heck yeah, you were on it.
I just Crunchyroll, man.
Yeah, man. Well, as far as news goes, that's pretty much all I had for today. I'm sure there's going to be more in the upcoming months because I know there's a lot coming, especially with Bleach on the horizon and a lot more animes coming out as well. So it seems like the season of isekai, though. I was looking at like how many isekais are running right now and how many isekais are planning to run. It's insane how many isekais are out right now. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I told you before that I think that's like one of my least favorite genres.
Well, it's funny.
I don't know if we went into depth about it.
I think I understand why people hate it because it just feels so overplayed now. But I also understand why people like it because it's easier for people to connect to it when it's like, hey, that could be me. Like, hey, this is like when you start in a world that doesn't exist, that's completely fictional, then you're almost completely separated. You can fall in love with the characters, but you have no you can't imagine yourself that way the same way that you would if it's like, if I died, I could just go to a fantasy world and become a mage or something.
100%. I think there is that allure too, or like
almost like a religious,
just that thought of like, wow, what if that does exist, like reincarnation in some other place? Like,
yeah.
I could see people really liking that idea, because honestly, it's kind of a comforting idea when you think about death. It's like, well, what if I just came back in a different world? Yeah, it's cool though, and I agree. I think that people can relate to that. I definitely can, even though I don't like it. That is, I don't want to say I don't like it. It's just not my favorite But it's relatable, and
Yeah.
obviously being relatable in story is super important because it gets people attached to the character.
Yep.
So, yeah. Cool. Well, short news section today, but, well, I guess we kind of have a short review section too. I was gonna say, but we have a lot to review, but we really don't. I just have watched a lot in the past 24 hours.
We got 3 things that we can review. I say we go ahead and get Demon Slayer out of the way, and then we could get to the.
We're behind on that one.
Yeah, we're behind on Demon Slayer, so I say we tackle that, and then we'll get to the big boys, the MHA Tower of God, which I'm pretty excited for. So
yeah, I'm actually gonna pull up Demon Slayer and sift through the last episode on mute while we talk about this because it's been a couple weeks, so I just need to remember what they actually did.
Well, so essentially, it was definitely the most action-packed episode of the entire season.
It was, and it was still, and I know this is gonna. All right, 18 minutes in is when the explosion happened. So, out of the, in quotes, 40 minutes we got, 18 of it was Muzan walking and talking to.
I know. I did the math. Like, the first 7 minutes is the opening and, like, just Muzan walking.
Walking, yeah.
And
the last bit of the previous episode was
same
at least
thing.
a couple minutes of walking. Like, what are we doing?
Yep. It was, I will say, even though the episode ended really cool, it was just, this whole season was just an undertaking of dragging things out in the worst way possible.
Worst way. I feel disrespected when I watch something like that. I really do. I feel disrespected by the producers. Like, buddy, you really think that you're gonna do this to me? Like, no, don't fucking do this to us. I feel like they're dragging it out because they're like, well, we got to get this allotted amount of time so that we can really make this, like, it's like a money thing or like whatever. Or they actually think it's so cool that he's walking and they're like, oh, finally, Muzan's here. But it just didn't feel that way. And maybe if they flew the plane a little better, the landing with Muzan coming in would feel
more impactful,
and more warranted for it to be like, oh my God, like, holy shit, he's here. He's showing up. Instead, we were throwing paper planes for a whole episode and beating each other with wooden sticks and coming up with this absolutely heinous 1v2 where the person that's by himself is the weaker of the 3 Hashira but is holding his own against 2 stronger Hashira still blows my fucking mind.
Hey, I did try to rationalize that a little bit in the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, you made some good points. It's like, why even do that at all in the first place?
I don't know if I'm willing to just chalk it up to like a money thing, because now that they've confirmed that the Infinity Castle arc is going to be 3 separate movies, I feel like if it was going to make them more money to do it by the season, it would have made more sense for them to do the Infinity Castle arc as a season. So
I'm going to piggyback off that. You can finish that.
I was just saying that since I can't really justify like it being money one way or the other, I don't understand why they did this season instead of just doing a movie. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Right, 100%. So to go off of what you said, I was kind of curious, like, are they dragging this out because they don't want Demon Slayer to end because they don't have another project like in the wings? But they do.
Yeah, they do.
They have Genshin Impact,
which is a huge project,
which is a fucking massive IP. Why? Well, what are we doing? Like, I can't reason this at all.
Yeah.
So, all right. So skipping through 18 minutes, explosion, and yeah, the explosion was really cool and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
And
seeing the Stone Hashira fight was pretty sick.
Well, okay, so that was dope. I guess to add some like detail to this, like it's cool. Like Ubuyashiki was like able to kind of pull one over on Muzan by actually killing his wife and kids along with him. Like Muzan thinking like, okay, well he's not gonna do that. Well, he did, which is crazy. And then let's see, skip it through. Then what's her name? Starts with a T. Tomoya?
I think it's Tomoya. Yeah.
She shows up, hits him with some medicine, right? She starts like slowing down his aging, I think.
Or it's supposed to be turning him human. It's supposed to be turning him human again.
Yes. Okay. And then so yada yada. They sit there and talk. There's a lot of talking. And then the Stone Hashira shows up, and it's sick.
And then mollywops Muzan in the head.
Mollywops him. And then that animation, though, him walking forward with the flail and all that, so sick. Gave me flashbacks to Entertainment District. It looks like that same style. And then all the Hashira show up, and one by one, they
fall into the Infinity Castle.
Muzan, and then, fall into the castle. And then, so they start falling into the castle, we'll say at 30 minutes in, so about halfway, or over halfway in, they start falling into the castle. And then so they fall for the next 3 minutes. About the next 3 minutes of falling.
What also shows like every demon slayer like getting consumed like across the country and everything. So
and then because this was a 40-minute episode, right?
Which was supposed to be an hour. 40 minutes is not an hour.
100%. We didn't even get 40 minutes. So I just want to point this out too. Like they market it as 40 minutes. Credits are rolling at 33.
And it's all credits up until like the last minute, and that's just the ending sequence that they do all the time.
So from 30, it's 5.5 minutes, almost 6 minutes of credits rolling, and then they do that silly little bit at the end for the last 2 minutes. So while it may have been the best episode, just ass season. You know what's crazy? The reviews on this are insane. People love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just jaded at this point. I don't know how people like. I don't know. I just felt like it was just so poorly paced. Everything was just over the top and dramatic. It just was like the timing was completely off every episode.
Yeah, it was.
You
are 100% right. It's got 4.9 stars with 489.8 thousand.
Jeez, good lord. All right.
95% 5 stars.
So we're in the unpopular opinion here.
We are in the 1%. If we vote 3 stars, we're in the 1% if we vote 2, and we're in the 1% if we vote 1. We'd be in the 4% if we gave it a 4-star rating. So look, that's kind of a crazy graph. 4% 4-star rating, 95% 5-star. I actually don't know what that tells me, but I mean, I guess you either absolutely love it, which is the majority of people, or you hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I wouldn't say we hate it. It's just like, why did you do it the way you did it? It just doesn't make sense.
It feels like such a big departure from the way that the previous seasons were treated. Like the way that they, I mean, obviously the animation style is great and everything, but you know, there's got to be more to the story than just animation. And this whole season was, like I said in the previous episode, this is a prime example of how no matter how good your animation is, if the story is shit, it's just gonna fall through. Like
yeah, for sure. I really think this just should have been either a 4 to 5 episode, like fun little like. Actually, I'm gonna start over. 100%, it should have been how they did JJK last year, where they did the Gojo Past arc, which was about 4 to 5 episodes, and then they took a month break, and then they did Shibuya. Imagine they do that with this. They do 4 to 5 episodes of Hashira training, take a month or a 2-month break, just, you know, something that's not crazy, and then boom, we're right into Infinity Castle episodes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that would have been fine too. Or done it as a movie and had the cliffhanger as them going into the Infinity Castle and then starting the Infinity. Like you could have done an 1.5-hour, 2-hour movie and captured everything and left us on a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah, it feels really shit to get this after waiting a year to get that, and now to wait probably another year to get the
first movie. Yeah.
So it's like, fuck that, dude. Fuck you guys. That's so disrespectful, bro. Anyways, I'm done with Demon Slayer. I'm glad that we don't have to talk about it right now.
Even though we're shitting on it, I am still excited for Infinity Castle.
Dude, Infinity Castle's gonna be it, bro.
It is.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be the peak of the anime, probably almost certainly the
because what does the anime do best? Fights. Animation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's it.
That's all the castle is. So.
Exactly. So this is where how this studio does it is going to shine the most. But but yeah. So I'll wrap up the season with this. I'm gonna score it like. I'm gonna give the whole season. I'll give it.
Don't say over a 5, bro.
I was gonna give it a 5.
A5.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 5. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just I can go up a point. I can meet you at 5.
Okay.
And it wasn't. It was just disrespectful. That's all.
It was so I think it's still good standalone, but when you start comparing it to its previous seasons, that's when it's just like, okay, this is where it falters a lot. So
yep, and you can't help but compare it to previous seasons. Any show, every show gets compared to its previous season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which we can talk about with our next show, Tower of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, quick, just overview. I just watched the first season, basically all yesterday. I had watched a few up until yesterday, and I have binged. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I binged 9 episodes, and then I watched the first 2 of this new season. I do have questions, but I have comments too. The number one thing that stood out to me, I actually do like the animation. I like the animation. There's an animation jump. There's a difference in 1 and 2, which we can go over.
Mm-hmm.
But in the first season, I really liked the way it looked hand-drawn.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a plus. Say a negative would be the names. I can't stand the character names. Let's see. Another negative, and it's not a big negative, but I really feel like the show was just test after test.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, well, now you have to do this test. When you completed that one, now you got to do this one. Oh, but before you do that, there's a bonus test we can have you take that doesn't penalize you if you fail, but you get something if you succeed. Just like a lot of tests going on, which, like I said, it's really not like the worst thing. It's just something I realized like felt a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
To me.
It is going to be a little bit repetitive because you are climbing the tower, and each level you do have to be tested. So,
yeah, I did expect that to a degree. I was kind of thinking they would at some point branch off and start doing other stuff.
Well, they kind of have in this season.
They have. Yes.
Yeah. Now they're introducing. You've got like different factions. You have the royal. You've got like the 10.
The Foog.
Yeah. Well, you've got the Foog, which is like the rebellion faction.
I do. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character? Would you say?
I am absolutely partial to the main character in this one.
Okay.
I just love the main character, but I also love. God, why can't I think of his name right now?
What is he?
The blue turtle.
Blue turtle.
The blue
Coon.
Coon. Yeah, Coon. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. I think my favorite is Hots, the dude with the 2 samurai swords.
Yeah, Hots is really cool.
Black hair. Mm-hmm. I like Hots. I like Coon. Another thing I noticed, it seems like everyone has some secret agenda. Like they all got plans and they don't want to talk about it out loud.
Yeah.
Like y'all are all doing something. Rachel's a bitch.
Yeah, fuck Rachel.
Fuck Rachel, bro. What? What? Dude, this whole, I'm like, I was feeling, bitch, I thought you were in a wheelchair.
Yeah, when I told you to go watch this, and you were like, "Yeah, the first episode was okay." It was like, I could, and I told you I was like, "It's gonna be like Solo Leveling. You need to get past like the third episode
Yes,
to get to it."
yes.
I really wanted to be like, "You're not gonna be ready for the ending though," because like
Yeah.
I didn't see that twist coming at all either.
I didn't either. And I will say, honestly, up to that point, I was not super interested in the story. But then that happened, and I raised up. I was like, wait, what?
Everything's changed now.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. And I will say the vibe of season 2 so far, it's pretty cool. Big jump in animation. Like they got a budget for this one.
Well, because I think the first season did so well, they were able to beef up the animation style a lot.
Well, it looks really good. So kudos. Whatever studio's doing this, sick. Follow up point on, let's see. So character wise, are we gonna get like I mean, this is like all new characters so far in the second season.
It's going to be a huge cast. There's going to be a whole bunch of new characters introduced. Some of the old characters from the previous season are still going to be like present in the new season as well. I haven't watched it yet, but if you get a chance, they actually released before the second season dropped. They released an hour-long sneak peek.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
It's on It's on YouTube. There's a YouTube video for it. Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell what they're doing as far as main character for this season. Is it the blonde dude or is it the Foog guy?
Well, the main character is still the main character from the last season, which is
that's Bomb, right?
That is
The Foog
Bomb.
guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Viol.
Yeah, his full name that he's going by right now is Jue Viol Grace.
Okay, I assume that was him. They just didn't outright say it, but I'm like,
no, I
which I like. I do like that.
I don't know. Obviously the anime has not said, "Hey, this is Bomb," but they showed his eyes. It's still his hair. He was the main character. They haven't. There's been no indication that they were just gonna like switch up main characters. I think that's Bomb. He's just going by a different name now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I kind of like the blonde hair dude. What is his name?
Hold on, I have it.
He said it like he said it so many times.
Wengen. Ja Wengen.
Yes. Yeah. Ja.
Oh, Wangnan.
He was kind of growing on me a bit.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He reminds me of Asta a little bit for some reason. I don't know why, but just like how loud he is and how bombastic he can be in a room. It just reminds me of Asta's personality a lot.
There's Hots. Let's see. Where is that chick that was burning people? I will get these names down eventually, but I just watched so many episodes in a row, and she's from a royal family.
Yeah, she's called the flamethrower.
But dude, I'm excited to watch now. I was really cooking through, and like I said, up until that last episode, I was just not super invested, and then that got me.
Yeah. Well, I think that betrayal is going to change the entire character arc for Bomb, because like before he was just like this. Yeah. It was just like I just want to do right by Rachel.
He was a simp. He was a simp.
He was,
and now he's heartbroken, and he hit the gym.
Yep.
Picking up the weights.
Girl broke his heart, so he decided he was going to destroy the world. That's
mess him up, dude. There are so many characters.
Yep. There's going to be a ton introduced. There's going to be an insane amount introduced, and they're still going to carry over characters from the previous season. So, yeah, get ready, man.
And this was a webtoon?
Yeah. Yep.
And it just did really well.
It did.
Obviously.
Phenomenal, yeah.
What do you think about the weapons, the colors, and the months?
I actually kind of like the concept.
I do, too. Well, at first, I was like, oh, the Black March? That sounds fucking sick. And then they showed the green April, and I'm like, oh, are we fucking... March as in the month? Is that what this is? Because when you say Black March, it's like, well, that sounds ominous. It sounds like it could be a dark army or something, you know? But then they said the Green April. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? They're just weapons or they're months and colors.
Yeah, we got a little. I think each one of them have a month, but I'm curious though. Do they?
There's 13.
Well, there's 13 weapons. I'm curious if there's like, because we saw there's a jihad weapon that our new main Deuteragonist guy, Ja Wangnan, has. He has a jihad ring that he uses to like call forth. So there's other jihad weapons.
Yeah, there's also that engine weapon. What'd they call it? There was something else. There was a sword that one of the guys had that the chick took from him. It was a engine something.
I can't remember.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. But with all these different like types of weapons, I'm just curious. I know there's 13 swords, but are there other, I guess, like colored month weapons? Like, could there be like a purple march and it'd be like not a sword but something else?
Yeah, I could see that.
But I do want to see all these swords. I mean, 13 different swords. Black March had a really cool name. Even Green April isn't bad. I don't mind them being named after the months. I'm also curious, what's the 13th month?
Well, I just looked at it. I just saw a name of a thing, so I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I don't think it's a spoiler.
No, but we can wait. We'll see it in the anime, I'm sure.
There's also, I see these types of weapons, the 13-month series, and then I see another one that sounds sick, but I don't have to say it.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'd rather find out through surprise.
There's so many weapons right here, dude. Holy cow. Cool. Okay, so I don't know how to find that other weapon, but they said something about like a engine something.
It's okay. We can always find it again later and talk about it in the next episode. But
yeah, it looked cool. It was a pretty cool looking sword. It was like a little thicker of a sword. Yeah, let's not get stuck on it. Oh, wait, Narmada. That's it right there. Ignition weapons. Did you?
Oh, yes. I remember now. Okay.
Not engine. Ignition. Yeah. So that's not part of the 13-month thing?
No, those are weapons created by Jihad. I'm assuming we're going to see some really cool weapons that aren't from like Jihad's stores of weapons.
Yeah, it says Narmada Ignition. These two words send out a blast of green energy that looks similar to Shinsu, forcing a cry. Oh, okay, whatever, yada yada. Goes into more story, but yeah, it was like that green crackling energy. It was pretty cool. So I love when the animes add in cool weapons that have some lore tied to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't seen a lot of One Piece, but like they have they have all that sword stuff going on throughout the stories.
Yeah.
What's that dude's name? Hawkeye? Hawks? No. I think it's Hawkeye. Mihawk.
Yeah.
He's got that big ass fucking sword.
But so these two episodes though, so far for the first two episodes of this season. First episode, I would say, was really cool. We got to see some awesome fighting, introduces some new characters, and then this episode, a little slower, but we got to see how strong our guy really is. How strong our main character has gotten.
Yeah, he's been training that Shinsu, obviously.
Yeah.
I really thought he was. I thought when it started, okay, this dude in this sword, this is gonna be a story about this. Like, you know, he was gifted this clearly powerful weapon, and he's gonna learn how to unlock it and wield it. Just completely did not do that at all.
Nope.
They're like, all right, give me the sword. Figure it out.
He may get it back one day, because the sword did like him.
But does he need it? Because he's got this crazy Shinsu power. It doesn't seem like he needs a sword.
Probably not necessary, but I'm sure the sword would make him even stronger. So
yeah, those swords defy all sorts of physics and law of anything. That Green April was turning into vines and shit.
Yeah.
And branching out.
I'm also excited that we're learning a little bit more about the families. Because I want to learn more about like these different princesses that are the princesses of Jihad and the different and more of the hierarchy of like why is Fugue rebelling? Why do they not like what Jihad has been doing? Why do they not like the families? Why do they not like the princess and the orders and everything? And also, how did our main character get inducted into this like rebellion group. Obviously, we know like his reasoning is probably because man got betrayed, so he was like, let's burn the world. But I just want to see more. I'm excited for the flashbacks since we had a time skip. I'm excited to see like what happened in the time in between as the story goes on.
I'm excited to see the other characters now,
Yeah.
because just Bomb himself is, I mean, he went from a boy to a man, so I'm curious to see what the other characters are gonna be looking like. Yeah, this is cool. Definitely a cool story. I'm excited to dig into more of it.
So what would you give this last episode? And you could rate the last one too.
Yeah.
First and second.
Gosh. Since I just watched all the first season too, I'll say I like a solid 6 across the entire 13 episodes of the first season, just because it was definitely above average show. It felt a little slow and a little repetitive for the test, and I don't hate that. It just definitely goes into my review, but 6 to a 7, somewhere in there for the whole first season. Really, the last episode sold me on the show.
Okay.
And gosh, this season, it's obviously looking at better animation is great, and it's sick. They've done a very good
Storylines
job.
getting more complex.
Storylines getting more complex. My hope is that there's less tests in the future. There can be tests, just break them up. I don't want to go back to back on tests. I need something in between. I would say 6.5 for both, maybe. 6.5, maybe close to 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rate the first episode a little bit higher than this episode just because there was some really cool action scenes in the first episode that
Yeah.
I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably
It's
do
sick, though.
6.5 too, to be honest. I think I'd meet you there.
I feel like that's just like a good, like, definitely an above average show. Nothing crazy yet.
leading into it,
I'm
though,
excited. Yeah. And 6.5 with the hope and honestly the expectation that it's gonna keep climbing. It's gonna get higher. So, I mean, these are just the first 2 episodes. You can't really expect anything too crazy, and it seems like they're really setting the foundation for new story threads.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a good starting point.
I think so too. I would meet you there at 6.5, so we could say official 6.5 for those. And I am excited for next week's, man. I can't wait to see what starts unfolding. I can't wait to see this fight because I know the Proctor and our guy is about to start fighting.
Oh yeah, that okay. That little fuck.
At the end of the episode, he's like, you're not talking me out of this. He's like, I'm gonna take care of this feud.
Yeah. I don't see him winning, but I don't know. Could be surprised. I mean, I've been surprised by other characters' abilities in the show. I really want to see. I got to see my boy though. I do like Hots. I think his full name is Hatsu.
I just know
They kept calling him Hots in the show. So.
I just know that like, Bomb's about to bust some ass, dude. Like
Yeah. I think so. Current what are they on?
Volume wise, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, so as of May 24, published 15 volumes.
I'm assuming it's probably
Size.
like the normal size for volume. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably going like industry standard.
Yeah. So it's probably like 3 to 4 episodes per volume, right? Roughly.
Volume. I think most volumes are roughly 2.5 episodes.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure. I think some volumes you could maybe get 3 episodes out, but normally I think it's about 2 to 3 rather than 3 to 4.
Oh man, the cover looks really cool.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind picking it up and reading it because I'm sure there's probably stuff that they missed in the anime.
Dude, I almost, because I was so behind, I almost just bought these and read them because I knew I could do it within an hour.
Are they not
and
on?
have it up.
Are they not on Jump or Shonen? Are they not?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Because you could read them there. We could both read them there. I actually
Yeah.
think it might actually be on there.
Dude, but if go on Amazon, the covers look cool. You're gonna want them.
Yeah, fun.
They look really nice.
Fun side tangent since we're talking about manga. I found out that Go-Go Loser Ranger, when it was originally serialized for manga before it got picked up for an anime, the English name that they were going to use was Reject Ranger. But then when they got picked up for an anime, they decided to rebrand it as Go-Go Loser Ranger.
I like Go-Go Loser Ranger.
I think it makes more sense for an American audience because it's such a callback to watching older Power Rangers. But I do kind of like Reject Ranger a little better personally. But I was just like, I saw it as a manga and I was like, what's Reject Ranger? Is that an offshoot or something? And then I did some research and it was like, nope, that's what they originally were going to call it. And I was like, well,
That's
I'm
cool.
not going to order the Reject Ranger name ones now because I already have all the Go-Go Loser Ranger ones. So
Yeah. I saw too, I didn't know this, but Gege was actually intending on Megami to be the main character. Like,
Really?
There's a thing about he wanted Akatsu to be the main character at one point, but I saw some other article saying he wanted, like, he had ideas for Megami to be the main character, but something it being like Megami
I thought Yuta was
not being great. That's what I'm saying. Like there is that too. Yuta was supposed to be. I guess he just had different ideas who the
I could see
protagonist was gonna be.
both of them. They're so similar character-wise, at least initially,
similar.
like at least in their initial parts. But
Brooding emo
yeah,
dudes. Apparently, that's not good enough for a main character for young audience. So
Apparently
that's why
not.
he wrote up Itadori. But anyways, yeah. So these covers look cool. I might end up ordering these.
cool.
I actually need to build out this stand that I bought this really cool display case. I got to build it out and find some room for it before I keep buying more manga because it's all kind of just sitting over here on a shelf.
Yeah.
Just stacked on top of each other.
Mine's kind of the same way right now. I've got to get some shelves so I can start building out my manga section as well.
Yeah.
But I guess we could jump into MHA now. Talk to my hero.
Fire, dude.
Yeah.
So one word I gotta say fire, and I mean that in both ways, literally and yeah, just great episode.
So good.
Lots of fire though.
Probably the best episode this season so far. That's high praise too because I really liked the first two episodes were just such bangers, but this one was the first one where I kind of like really got the feels and the chills that you get in past seasons.
Oh yeah, this one was like, oh no, stand up and fucking fight. That's what we're doing, bro. Endeavor popping off, man. Oh, what a beast.
I love the scene where like his like past self is talking to him and like talking about how he just needs to continue trying to crush his own weakness, and then he chokes himself out to get himself up.
Yeah.
He's just
It's hard. It goes hard.
oh my god, it was amazing. I will say a part of my heart dropped when he does the prominence burn.
Oh, you thought he was gone? I thought he was gone too.
And I thought he was gone. I thought the reason my heart dropped was because I was like, dude, if Endeavor's gone and All for One is gone, if they're both gone, like that would be a decent ending. But I was like, I feel like that's too quick an end for All for One.
Yeah.
It's like it's too early for him to die.
It's too early for him. And I'm like, don't sacrifice yourself to not actually kill him. That would have been so tragic.
Yeah, but the moment was epic enough to be the end. Like that's why my heart dropped, because I was like, this is an epic enough moment to be like, okay, this is the end. But it was too early in the story for it to be the end. So
What did he hit him with? He hit him with a crazy move.
well, that, and we didn't even talk about this man lost his arm.
He did. He did. We've seen the prominence burn and we've seen the hype videos built around that one ability, but that fucking vanishing jet burn was insane. Bro.
Yep, the vanishing jet burn,
The names of these abilities get me so hyped.
and then his flaming fist to the face was just
Yeah.
sick. Oh god, yeah, no, he was definitely the highlight. Him and your boy Bakugo, dude. That mobile
Cluster,
Panzer, that Panzer was nuts, dude.
Yeah, that was sick. And then he does that twisting what does he call it? Howitzer or something. He starts spinning on fire, and then he hit the cluster. He was throwing everything at Shiggy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his forearm is shattered though.
Yeah.
Like he got snapped in half.
Nothing. What is it? The healing woman can't give him a big
she
smooch.
can't just.
Yeah.
I saw the preview for the next episode. Did you see that?
I did. Yep.
Shiggy needs to get his hands off my boy. But I'm a little happy because I'm like, all right, well you're not gonna kill him yet. You're gonna use him to taunt Deku in. Like you're gonna bring Deku in. So cool, great.
Yeah.
That's what we need. But
Well,
not kill my boy.
he's gonna use him to taunt Deku, but
Dude, if Deku shows up, oh my god, stop! I don't even think about that.
bro, people gotta die. They gotta die.
People do have to die, but not my boy. We can. I thought this episode there was a high chance we were gonna lose Endeavor and high chance we're gonna lose Hawks, but it didn't happen
That's true.
yet. It could still happen.
You know, I also want to point out too, I really liked how it kind of shows that All for One's quirk is unstable.
Yeah.
That because he's got
I like that.
these like compiling quirks in there, like fighting against him, it's like he doesn't have control anymore. I think that's an interesting concept, especially exploring the singularity event that is supposed to happen.
It adds like psychosis to his whole character too. Like he's kind of losing it.
Yeah,
He's just barely held together. Like because he comes off as someone who's very in control of everything, but then we're starting to see like you're really not as in control of all of this as you are letting on. Or maybe he does have some master plan that's even deeper that we haven't seen. I like his line though, where he said, "Wounded heroes are scary."
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, because he said something along the lines of he hasn't felt this since he fought All Might, and All Might was like running his shit, which is props to Endeavor as well. It's a big shout out to Endeavor. Really cool. But then at the end of the episode, he's like, yeah, wounded villains are scary too.
Yeah, it was a great episode all around.
Yeah, really was.
Good action. I'm just waiting for Deku. Get our crybaby back on the scene, man. This dude has been
cosplaying Jesus right now.
He is just flying across the water for like 2 or 3 episodes now. Like we need him back on the scene. All right.
We're gonna get it. We're definitely gonna get it. And I think, let me say, I hope that when he does show up, it's just some badass fighting, some cool animation, something better than that Dobby and Todoroki fight, bro. Golly.
Yeah, well, like I said, we don't know if that's over just yet. Yeah.
True.
But you got to remember too, it's gonna bounce around a lot. They've got like 6 different battlefields right now, or like 8 different battlefields, something like that.
So many characters,
and
and he's really not letting them fall to the wayside. He's like, I wrote you. You're not sitting out of this fight.
Yeah.
I gotta find a way to make it work. Which was one of my big gripes about the 4th Shinobi War, where they left people out, and they shouldn't have. So, I'm not gonna complain too much that he's writing in all these characters. Because, man, I wish so fucking badly that Rock Lee was in that war more than he was.
Yeah, true. I will say the big thing about Naruto you got to remember though is there was a lot of writing decisions that were out of the control of the actual mangaka. Like he wanted to kill off certain characters, but they wouldn't let him. And because
that's crazy, because if Naruto came out today, that shit would not be flying like that.
No, especially not with stuff like JJK on the scene. They'd be killing people left and right. Like,
yeah.
The sad
I'd be
truth
so worried for my boy Rock Lee.
Sad truth is, Rock Lee'd probably be dead.
Yeah, I know. That's so tragic. That's so fucking tragic to think about. I mean, Neji going, it hurt. It definitely hurt. Dude, I've been seeing some stuff lately. I know we're kind of segueing out of My Hero, so if we want to rate it real quick, then because I do have something Naruto wise to talk about.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Let's go ahead and give our score, and then we can jump into some casual convo.
8.5.
I was gonna give it the same score I gave the the first 2 episodes, I think. It was either the first episode or second episode. It's the highest score that I gave. It was 8.9. I'm going to give it an 8.9 because it was just so freaking good. Episode was so good.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
I'm excited for next week. We can let's jump into some Naruto talk though. What do you
Okay, so let me see. There's actually 2 things. They're both Byakugan related. Let's see if I can find the second one. So the first one was I saw a short saying this guy was saying that Kakashi at one point early on in the story said the Byakugan was stronger than the Sharingan. Do you remember that?
It was supposed to be, or at least how the mangas were written, it was definitely supposed to be stronger than the Sharingan was. Because the Byakugan's supposed to be like a perfect awareness, 360 degrees of everything around you, even into the ground.
Yeah. All right, so this other character,
Talking
what
about
is his name? Mukai.
in Naruto? Mukai.
Yeah, Mukai Kohinata. He was a Byakugan user, and he fought Itachi and Shisui at the same time.
Okay.
He ended up not winning, obviously, because, we know how the story plays out, but he was giving them the work. I think Shisui was the one that actually was able to finally do something about him, but I think he hit him with a genjutsu. And then Mukai cut into his stomach to break the genjutsu.
Mm-hmm.
I think he ended up dying from his wounds, but yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Maybe it's a filler episode I missed. I don't know if that was in the show or not, but
it might have been. It's been so long since I've watched it. I can't even I had to look up the picture, and I recognize the picture of him now when I look it up, but I can't remember the episode now. But they have been playing I know you've been reading Boruto, so you know that they've been playing around with the evolution of new eyes and other ocular jutsus and stuff. So also saw a theory. Looks like people think Kagi is going to come back in Boruto.
okay.
I don't know if you're have you read, how much of Boruto have you read?
I'm over halfway through Boruto.
The original, not Bluetooth Boruto.
Not Too Blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So have you learned about the karma markings yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a pretty solid theory that there is going to be a character that is going to be introduced that has a karma marking on them that will bring back Kaguya, because technically that's so the way that the Otsutsuki come down to the planet and plant they were trying to plant that tree, the chakra tree. They feed an Otsutsuki to the chakra tree to complete the process, but they reincarnate by putting a karma symbol on somebody new. So, and Kaguya was supposed to be fed to the tree. She wasn't. Okay. So that means that she probably does have a karma marking somewhere.
Shit, that's cool. Okay, so it looks like it did happen in the show. He had one Byakugan.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
I'm excited for them to animate Two Blue Vortex. Once you get caught up, we can start reviewing
I've
that
heard
shit.
It's good, man. I've heard it's really good.
We can start reviewing that. I can't wait, dude.
Yeah. And my favorite character in Boruto.
Please don't tell me Please don't tell me.
You might be surprised, actually.
Okay. I'm just hoping you're not gonna be Ash
it's not Kawaki.
Okay, thank God. I hate Kawaki. I think Kawaki's such a dumb character.
He's okay. He's okay. I don't think he's great.
I think Kawaki's a worse version of Sasuke.
Yeah. Himawari is my favorite. Naruto's daughter.
Yep, I could see that.
She's so cute, and I like the Byakugan stuff. I like Hinata. So, but I heard that Himawari does some cool shit, or is gonna get to do some cool shit coming up. So, we'll see.
Absolutely.
I don't know fully, but she just. I don't know, dude. I feel like she's gonna be badass.
Yeah, she probably is. I already know she's gonna be badass because I am kind of too. I already know what happened to her and what.
Okay.
So she is gonna be pretty badass. Yeah.
That's exciting. Let's see. Where is? Oh, I'm logged out again. Sick. Are you? You're not caught up on. Are you? You are caught up on. You're like waiting for the next chapters for Boruto.
So I just kind of stopped reading Two Blue recently. I just need to pick it back up again. That's it. I just haven't. I'm relatively caught up. I'm not too far behind. I think I'm maybe like 2 volumes worth behind.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm waiting on. I think there's a Jujutsu Kaisen chapter that dropped yesterday.
Yeah, I need to pick that up. To be honest, I haven't been reading it.
Dude, yeah. Jump.
But I'm really excited, man. I can't wait for them to start animating this crap, man. I really, really want to see so, because Naruto is just such a great series, and to finally get back to the feel of Shippuden, because that's what Two Blue Vortex is going to feel like. It's going to feel like Shippuden.
Well, I love that world.
Yeah.
So anything that's written inside of it, as long as it's doing justice to the story, I'm cool with. Like,
it's also just so steeped in like Japanese mythology and like older Japanese like fairy tales and stuff. It's really cool to see it like adapted to such a unique and diverse world. So
yeah.
You know what you should do I don't think you've seen it yet, but you've finished Shippuden, you should watch Naruto The Last if you haven't watched it.
Dude, they just put a bunch of Naruto stuff on Netflix.
They have The Last on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's recent, like in the past month or so, they dropped it on there.
The Last is like a good prequel to Boruto, to give you a little bit more insight on, you know how, Hagoromo's kids, one of them stayed on Earth and then the other one went to the moon.
The moon, yeah.
The Last is about them. The Last is about the people who are up there. It's funny because you know that abridged Naruto water ain't wet that water ain't wet abridged Naruto that I showed you.
Yeah.
That scene is from that movie, from The Last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, fuck. I will do that. I'm caught up now.
Yep.
I do need to catch up on one other thing. It's a few episodes though, so it's not crazy far behind. But
what are you catching up on?
Just that. The other isekai we're gonna review next week.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean that's only 4 or 5 episodes, so.
Yep, that'll be good. It airs on Thursdays, by the way. So the new episode will come out on this Thursday. I don't know how many episodes. I think they're doing 12. I think that's how many they're doing. So let's see real quick.
Sweet.
Suicide Squad, isekai episode count. 10 episodes. So we're I think this Thursday we'll already be halfway through. Because they dropped 3 on the first day. Jeez.
Yeah. You know, I need to keep going on Bleach.
Yeah, that's true too.
I've seen episode 1 of Thousand Year, but I've been recording it, so I need to so much stuff, but
yep.
I just need to record myself and sit down and watch the whole first season.
There's been a lot of news about how they're really, really trying to amp up the quality for this next season.
Part 3? Is that what it is?
Yeah, part 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is actually the last season of Thousand Year Blood War Arc. Pretty sure it is.
Well, that's crazy.
Yep. So, any fitness updates?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I have been very consistently cold plunging. It's my new addiction. So I do that at least once every 3 days. So I get roughly 10 or so minutes a week. Sauna, still doing that. So I'm getting the recovery stuff done. I You just need to stretch more. I've realized.
Same.
It's my biggest thing.
God, the older I get, the more I realize just how stiff you get. Jeez, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and it happens fast. I mean, you take a week off of stretching and you're just back to stiff as a board. So
I think I'm just going to need to start dedicating like a full day to just going in and just stretching everything as deep as possible.
yeah, I go do the sauna to get really warm. And if I'm in there alone, I'll start stretching in there.
Mm-hmm.
If people are in there, I'll go outside and there's this open area where just stretch in. And
Yep.
you're hot from the sauna, so everything's loosened up. And it's quite nice. But yeah, just got to be more consistent about that. That way I can stop pulling muscles and shit.
Yep.
Great.
Luckily, I've been real good about not pulling muscles here lately. I've just been really honing in on technique, just making sure that my form is right. I've taken my time with everything, not rushing it just to get it done.
Yeah.
And making sure that you really utilize the negatives on each movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. Nothing major. So no major fitness updates this week.
No, man, nothing crazy.
We need to start a challenge or something. I think we could definitely do the 72 hard at the beginning of the year, but you know we're like 5 months out from that. So
Yeah, what did we decide that was the best time to do it because there's not much going on.
yeah, it's basically got to be January, February, March, that time, those 3 months.
And honestly, that's a good idea because those are the 3 most boring months out of the year, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nothing's happening. So
Yeah.
that would be a good time to do it. Have the time to actually dedicate to it. If we could track that, and
Yeah, we
get
could.
footage of stuff would be cool too. Like,
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We could definitely do that. And we'll start posting it online and for everybody to watch.
yeah.
But we're 5 months out. We might just want to we could even work on, in our spare time off the show, we can just work on here's what we'll try and do. We can just try and do the same things.
Yeah.
And then record it and post it.
Yeah, I would say just my overall goal is just obvious as kind of, I would say, I think this is what it should always be, but it's just getting stronger now, just kind of building up, getting stronger in basic movements. That's it.
Yep.
And being limber.
Yeah, I care less about getting bigger now and more about actually having strength.
Just being strong.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Cool. Well, that's all from me. I don't think I have anything else to say.
Yep. I think I'm good here too, brother.
Go another week. I'm excited. Cool. Well, we will see y'all on the other side. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Hidden Online podcast. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, comment, and like this video for more. You can also find us on Spotify and Instagram at Hidden Online Podcast.